Mel and Michael, thanks for your time. I'd like to ask you at the outset, you're under enormous pressure at the moment. I'd like to know that you're absolutely sure you're up to doing this.
Yeah.
You're okay? Mel, are you okay?
Yeah.
All right. If it gets too much, let me know and we'll take a break. I think we should go back to when the prank call was first made. Whose idea was it?
It was just, the team sitting down before the show, just, had the idea for just a simple, harmless phone call that, when we thought about making a call, it was going to go for 30 seconds. There was just, we were going to be hung up on, and that was it, as innocent as that.
We thought 100 people before us would have tried it. We just thought it was such a silly idea, and the accents were terrible. Not for a second did we expect to even speak to Kate, let alone have a conversation with anyone at the hospital. We wanted to be hung up on.
And the intentions, I suppose, we never expected to even get to Kate. It wasn't even about, can we speak to her? It was just, let's just call and, we'll be hung up on, and that was it. That'd be it.
So when it became clear, when you were put on hold and it would appear that the call was going to be put through, did you have any second thoughts at that time? Did you think, wait a minute, this has gone a bit further than we expected?
I still expected them to put us through to some kind of complaints area that she would have realised from that point, and we were going to be transferred and be told off and hung up on. Didn't expect to get through to anyone at any stage.
And I don't think that anyone could have expected or foreseen what was going to happen after all. So it was completely innocent, and we just assumed that we'd be cut off at every single point, and that'd be it.
At that point, when the second nurse was giving you quite a lot of detailed personal information about the Duchess, did you think maybe we need to stop it here?
We didn't think, and I don't think anyone would have thought that it would have had the outcome, the tragic outcome. The set of circumstances could never be predicted by anyone, I don't think. And at every single point it was innocent on our behalf, and it was just something that was fun and lighthearted, and a tragic turn of events that I don't think anyone could have ever have predicted or expected.
Prank calls have been around for years. We've done many a prank call before then. It's the same thing. You prank someone, you record it, and then it goes to the other departments to work out what they want to do with it. It's been done for years. It was routine for us. It wasn't anything different.
What are the guidelines here at Today FM for prank calls, for, where you draw the line in the sand on what's acceptable and what's unacceptable? What have you been told?
It's not up to us to make that decision. We just record it, and then it goes to the other departments to work it out. I don't know what they then do with it. We just do what we do, which is make those calls.
There's a process in place for prank calls or anything that makes it to air, and that's out of our hands. This was put through every filter that everything is put through before it makes it to air. So, we made the phone call, and then that was it on our behalf.
What sort of filters did it go through?
The same filters that everything goes through. We don't get to make those decisions. We don't get to make those calls. That's done by other people, and these processes haven't changed. It's always been the same, and our role is just to record and get the audio, and then wait to be told whether it's okay or not okay, and act upon as we're told.
So is it your sense as presenters that the buck stops way beyond you? Is that your sort of view?
I don't think anyone could have foreseen where this would go. No one could have predicted this at all. So it's just really tragic.
How did you hear about Jacintha Saldanha's death?
We both found out about the same time, and I think it was
worst phone call I've ever had in my life.
It was early Saturday morning. Well, when we were told.
Who called you? How were you told?
There were...
I don't even remember, to be honest. I don't know.
There were a group of people, and they all told us about it, and, you know, were there for us, most importantly, and you know, first and foremost, were there to make sure that we were okay, and, you know, and I'm still trying to make sense of it all. You know, it's... it's still... It's not anything that anyone could have ever imagined was going to happen, and it's, you know, we're still trying to work our way through it all, I suppose.
What was your immediate reaction?
Shattered, gutted, heartbroken, and obviously, you know, our deepest sympathies are with the family and the friends of all those affected. And, you know, obviously, Mel and myself are incredibly sorry for the situation and what's happened. And, you know, we hope that they're doing okay and they're getting the love and support that they deserve and need right now. But, I mean, personally, I'm... I'm gutted.
There's not a minute that goes by that we don't think about her family and what they must be going through. And the thought that we may have played a part in that is gut-wrenching.
You know, prank calls are made every day on every radio station in every country around the world, and they have been for a long time, and no one could have imagined this to happen. And, you know, we just hope that her family and friends are as good as they can be, and they're getting the love and support that they deserve. And we're, you know, naturally we're shattered. We're people too.
When you do a prank call, who's the joke supposed to be on? Is it supposed to be on you, or is it supposed to be on the people you call?
The joke 100% was on us. The idea was never, let's call up and get through to Kate, or let's speak to a nurse. The joke was, our accents are horrible, they don't sound anything like who they're intended to be, and the joke...
The entertainment value was in us. It was meant to be in our silly accents. That's where it was meant to end. It was just meant to be us being silly, getting hung up on.
And I mean, you know, the phone call itself, there was no malice on our behalf. It wasn't to agitate or to offend or to dig at all. It was the joke was our accent, and we just assumed that the same phone call had been made 100 times that morning, and we were expecting the same result as the 100 calls that had gone before us.
You see, I can see that you're both fragile, and I don't want to make this any worse for you, but I suppose there was a point in that call where the joke ceased to be on you and it became on the two nurses because you'd fooled them both. Improbably, you had fooled them both.
That's why there's a process in place for us to record that and for the team to work out what to do with it next. We did everything that we normally do when we make those prank calls.
And then that was taken out of our hands.
Did anybody, after the call was finished, did anyone express any doubts about whether it should be put to air? Did you?
We didn't have that discussion. We just did the process of what we do. We just handed it on to them and they have the discussion.
Who do you hand it on to? I think a lot of people want to know what the process is here. So who does it go to?
I don't exactly know the process. I honestly don't know the process.
Presumably it goes to your producer?
No, there's a whole team. There's a whole team of people that work with us.
And far above, you know.
We just go on and keep recording other stuff or doing other prep. We do that and leave it for everybody else to deal with. So there's a producer, there's a team of other people. Do you mean lawyers,
management? Are they
People
involved?
far above us, and you know, I'm 100% honest in saying that we're not privy to what happens with this call. And mind you, this call is no different from anything else. You know, regardless of the content or the context or what's been recorded, it's the same. It's the same process, and I'm certainly not aware of what filters it needs to pass through. All we know is that, you know, it's passed on, and then we're told either yay or nay, essentially, and they don't give us too much more than that.
Did you both see it as a bit of a coup straight afterwards? I mean, obviously before any of these terrible consequences, did you think, well, we've done pretty well there?
It wasn't a competition to get a scoop. It wasn't to have something that no one else had. It wasn't even...
Really?
No.
It was to touch on a hot topic. Every other media outlet in the world wanted to touch on Kate being in hospital. That was our way of doing it to the best of the show's ability, and that was trying to find a different angle. And our angle was having those silly little accents and being hung up on. You know, other people were trying other ways to get whatever they wanted from the situation, and ours was the most innocent thing that we'd come up with. It wasn't meant to go that far. We didn't expect them to put us through.
All right. There are calls now for prank calls to be banned on radio. What do you think about that?
I don't even want to think about going back on air, to be honest. I'm more worried about the family, and that's where the focus should be, that they're getting the support they need, that the other nurse is getting the support that she needs, that everyone is being looked after in this situation, because there's other innocent victims involved here as well. The family, you know, her kids.
We're still trying to get our heads around the situation, and what happens from here, it's too early to tell, you know. We're so upset and, you know, as I said, heartbroken and sorry for the situation, you know, that has come.
Sorry for the family that they're going through this.
And it's not something, as I said, that we set out to do or could ever have imagined.
Would you like to finish with any sort of message for the family if they are watching?
Look,
I've thought about this a million times in my head, that I've wanted to just reach out to them and just give them a big hug and say sorry. And I hope they're okay. I really do.
we just hope, you know, that they...
I hope they get through this.
They get the love, the support, the care that they need. You know, can't imagine how they feel right now. I mean, we're shattered, and you know, just know that it was never intended to be anything. There was no malice, no intent, and we just hope that they're okay, and that our deepest sympathies are with all of them through obviously what's an incredibly tough time.
All right. Thank you both for your time.
Thank you.